Okay, so here's some new stuff. We're in the key of C sharp minor for right now. And we're going to talk about some hybrid picking ideas. And I know that you know what that is, but that's where you use your pick and your fingers to execute, whatever the licks are. And I found that a lot of times if I use this technique, I'm a little bit more consistent for these specific sort of ideas than if I was to try and pick everything. So we're in the key of C sharp minor, and we're going to start with this kind of pentatonic concept. And it's essentially just descending threes. And you can phrase them however you want to, but it's this concept, and I like to think of these as kind of like micro licks. So they're not big, long things you have to memorize. It's just one concept that you can move around and use however you want to. So this is the first one. Right? And what that is it's where you take this like a string pair. It doesn't really matter which two strings you pick. And you descend 3 notes and then another 3 notes. And the way I pick it, which is the whole kind of thing about it, is finger, pull off, pick, finger, pick, pull off. And that's the lick. And you can move it to other string pairs with the same technique. So if you were going to do, basically you're just playing this lick and then you're doing it again the next string down. If you were to try and do it like in this position, it would be. So you're using the pick, the finger, and a combination of pull-offs. And you can move it around, You don't have to play that much of it, You can play, like. And you can get it pretty quick, man. Is that 100? Yeah. And you can also phrase them as like triplets or 16th notes. Or whatever. And that's kind of a way that I'll descend quickly through like pentatonics. The other thing you can do is you can take, if you know your major scales, and I'll show it to you in 3 positions, just on this first string set, and you can do your homework, kind of figure out how to move it. But if you take like 2 notes of any scale pattern in that key, and you arrange it where you have 2 notes on a string, you can do that lick. So that's like out of this. You can, same technique. Up here, you would have like so what I'm doing is I'm taking the outside 2 notes and then like the first 2 notes of the next string up. And you can get pretty wild with that, man. Like you can get real out there. And you can combine that with the pentatonic deal, so you can like, or whatever. And if you wanted to do these 2 notes, or these 2 notes, your right hand does the same thing no matter what. Or whatever. So the next idea, and you can do that, you can do it in octaves. or whatever, you know, anything you want. You can move around with it. You can use it as much as you want. You can use as much of the pattern. You can use it as a phrasing idea where you've got little licks in between. And I'll show you some more examples of that in a minute. Here's the next one. And I'm going to teach you this kind of idea that I use from time to time. And you can use it the set, like if you know your relative majors, you can use it over a major setting too. What I'll do is I'll take these pentatonic positions, and sometimes I'll make them 3-note per string, just so I can do different phrases with them. So, like if I were taking this, I would just kind of fill in the dots, you know. Does not sound good when you do it like that. But let's say you were gonna, you know, use ideas with that scale. So one you could do, this is this sort of Paul Gilbert thing. It's where you go up 4 notes and then back down. And he would pick it, you know. But we're not gonna do that. We're going to pick, hammer, hammer, finger, pick, pull off, pull off. Once again, it's a micro lick. And it's, you know, I think of it as either 3s or 6s, you know. And you can move it around, you know, like what you can do is you can take all of your pentatonic scales and fill them in where you have these kind of like little... The reason I like this is because it doesn't sound like you're going up and down a minor scale. It sounds like you're doing something weird in there. But you're hitting those pentatonic notes on the strong beat, so it, you know, you're still sort of in key. Or it's still, if you play it fast enough and in the right pocket, you know, it kind of sounds good or neat. You could do this for this scale, which would be this. And you can go up and down the whole pattern if you want to. So like, as many times as you want, you know, twice. And you can mix them together, so you can, you know. So I'm gonna put on a backing track and kind of do some of that stuff. This is not supposed to be musical. It's just to kind of show you what this would sound like in a rock context. To do it kind of 16th note based, you'd be like, sixes. Anyway, let me know how that works out for you, man.